All right, as I promised off the top of the show, look at these beauties at the LA Country Club in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Bob Weeks, Graham DeLaet after the first round of the United States Open Championship. And I say United States Open Championship, guys, but it didn't feel like it because of these scores. And I want to start with Xander, Schauffele, and Rickie Fowler. How impressive were those 62s, Graham?
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, considering, Jay, this is the 123rd playing of the U.S. Open, and we've never seen a score below 63, and we saw two of them today, and they were in back-to-back groups, not to mention a couple 64s and a couple of 65s. I mean, the scoring was unbelievable today. I don't think anybody saw it coming. The course just kind of laid down for a day here, and it was not what we expected.
And perhaps not as big a surprise to see Xander Schauffele shoot that round. He's played very well in the U.S. Open in the past. He's played 6 times before he's finished in the top 10 in 5 of those. Rickie Fowler, a bit of a different story. He's been on a rebuild of his golf swing that's seen him kind of go down into a real slump. In fact, he dropped out of the top 100 in the world. And this tournament last year, he hadn't qualified for it. He was actually the first alternate. So last year at the Country Club, he sat basically right around the first tee and waited to see if somebody at the last minute would be injured and have to pull out. But he eventually had a long Thursday that didn't see him get into the field. So from being the first alternate now, he's gone all the way up to leading after the first round.
I guess this is what happens when you play the U.S. Open on a course that I don't know anyone in the world has actually played before. Hugh Hefner couldn't even join this club, and the mansion is like off the course. So what can the USGA realistically do here, guys? Is there anything they can do to make this course more difficult as we head into the second round, Graham?
Yeah, well, the one thing that they've told us has been just a gloomy June here. So it's been overcast almost every single day, and it just hasn't allowed these fairways and greens to really bake out like I'm sure that the USGA wants. They haven't watered these fairways in over a month. They have been putting water to the greens, though, so they can turn the tap down or even possibly off for a night or two, firm up those greens, maybe toughen up the pin placements just a little bit and bring some fire back into this golf course. But at 8 under right now, leading the tournament, if they do that and make it difficult, you can still see a winning score that's 5, 6 under par.
I mean, the U.S. Open, typically they sort of let the line out on Thursday and Friday. They let the guys go and score, and then they just kind of gradually bring it back and make it tougher and tougher. And I'm sure the USGA has a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, and I'm sure they're right now, after this opening round, they're looking at plan L or M or something to try and see what they can do. But I guarantee you tomorrow will be a very tough Friday for most of these guys if the USGA can find a way to toughen this up.
And let's talk about the Canadians, guys. Obviously, it's been a pretty crazy week for Nick Taylor. No question about that after he wins the Canadian Open. What did you make of Nick Taylor's opening round, Graham?
Well, I mean, yes, you're right. It's been an absolute whirlwind for him the last 4 or 5 days, and extra media attention, extra attention from all his players. I mean, just the emotions that go along with that, and kind of almost the hangover effect that a lot of players. And I think he just kind of gets a free pass from everyone. I mean, his game is still very, very good. I mean, he's coming off a win last week. It doesn't leave you that fast, so. It's more emotional than it is physical here right now for him.
He did remind me after the round when we were talking to him that he shot 3 over in the first round last year, so he's actually better off than he was. He's only 2 over after this round. And I think you can't overlook Mackenzie Hughes. Mackenzie Hughes had a great round, 3 under par. He's in the top 10 right now. He used the putter, which is generally his strongest weapon. He used that really, really well, including a really good birdie putt on the 18th hole to finish off his day.
Guys, I hope you get some rest because it has been a long day for you. And if you can get into the Playboy Mansion, and I know Graham can, what happens at the Playboy Mansion stays at the Playboy Mansion. Thanks, fellas.